Traditionally, game was always shot with side-by-sides. In the last few years, maybe 15, 20 years, there's been a gradual move over from side-by-sides to over and under game guns. But we still sell quite a lot of side-by-sides. We get a lot of people come in who shoot and they've been invited onto a nice game day and they want to be a little bit traditional and shoot with a side-by-side. It's a nice way to shoot game. It fits in nicely with the day. So where do we start with buying a side-by-side?
TSC is brought to you with support from Sabati Guns from Rangerite, CCI Clays, Yieldits Guns, Ely Cartridges, Browning Guns, Bowman Traps, Breeden School, and Charles Stanley Wealth Management.
If you are looking to buy a reasonably inexpensive side-by-side, some of them will be quite old, and traditionally side-by-sides always had very short stocks because a lot of the guns that you'll be looking at will be maybe up to 100 years old. You then need to decide whether you're going to buy English or Spanish. English guns are nice to have, they're nice to own, but again, bear in mind that they are a little bit like antiques. I mean, there's an Armstrong box suffragette there, Damascus barrels, beautiful piece of French walnut on it, side-plated, which was quite traditional around the turn of the century, intercepting sears, which indicates that it is a best quality box shot. And that gun is a lovely gun to own, lovely gun to shoot, £1,500. Very, very good value for money. If you decide you want to buy something reasonably priced, you can start with a box stock. Box stock ejectors are fantastic value for money at the moment. You can still buy a box stock ejector for £1,000 or just under that we have here. A lot of people say, well, I would prefer a side lock. The reason being that side locks look the part and are generally accepted as nice looking guns when you're game shooting. So if you're going to go for a reasonably priced side lock, £2,000, £4,000, Spanish is a good way to go. Spanish side locks, you're going to get one not too old for that sort of price. They're good workhorses. They will go on. They're 2 3/4 chambers, although I always recommend that you don't shoot 2 3/4 cartridges through them. If you stick with 2.5-inch cartridges, then you'll find that the gun shoots nicely. Don't be tempted to put heavy 2 3/4 cartridges in a Spanish side lock and expect it to shoot nicely. It won't. The other thing to think about when you're buying a side-by-side, again, is comb height. English guns tend to have a lot of drop on them, whereas Spanish guns tend to be a little bit higher in the comb. So if you are somebody that shoots with an over and under and you want to buy a reasonably expensive side-by-side for 2 or 3 days game shooting a year, look at both, but look seriously at the Spanish side-by-side. As I said, they're higher in the comb and they will come up better probably than an older English gun. Right, well, we've got an English box hook ejector there, cased, everything, for £950. So you can buy a box hook ejector, very, very good value for money at the moment. You've got a Webley 700 there, which, again, little box hook ejector, most of its original colour on it. And again, that can be bought for £1,000. Good value for money. You've got another, a very late, that's a Webley 702, which Webley actually made 3 guns. They made the 700, the 702 and the 701. Why they had that, I don't know, but the 701 was their best of the three grades, 702 was the middle grade, and the 700 was the basic grade. But there's a Webley 702 there. That's unusual. It's a single trigger. So again, if you are somebody that's used to shooting them over and under with a single trigger and can't get used to double triggers, there are one or two single trigger guns available, but they're very, very rare. There's a Joseph Lang there, again, well-known English maker, good value for money at under £2,000. You've then got your Arietta round body. A lot of people call this a round body. In fact, it isn't a round body, it's a rounded bar. And the idea is they've taken that edge off, and now a lot of Spanish guns that are made with a rounded bar, because when you carry it over your arm, it sits much more comfortably over your arm. Second-hand AWA number 2, again like new, £2,000. New AWA number 2s, 12 and 20, which again, fantastic value for money, under £6,000 brand new. So side-by-sides at the moment are very, very good value for money. A lot of people buy them as an investment. They'll buy a nice English side-by-side, which you can pay 10, 20, 30, 40, £50,000 for. A new Purdy, Bosch or Holland at the moment will cost you just over £100,000. So, again, when you compare an English side lock at £100,000 to a Spanish side lock at 6, they look the part when you're going shooting. But again, go into a shop that is a little bit knowledgeable about side-by-sides, and it can advise you what you want and what would be the best gun for the type of shooting that you're going to do.